Chol HaMoed Pesach. Chol HaMoed Pesach, intermediate day of Passover, Torah Shmot, Exodus, 33:12-34:26, Haftarah Yechezk'el, Ezekiel, 37:1-14. Pirit Hadashah 1 Corinthians, 1 Co, 5:6-8, Yochanan, John, 11:38-57, Torah Shmot, Exodus, 33:12-34:26 33:12 Moshe said to Adonai, Look, you say to me, make these people move on. But you haven't let me know whom you will be sending with me. Nevertheless, you have said, I know you by name, and also, you have found favor in my sight. Now, please, if it is really the case that I have found favor in your sight, show me your ways, so that I will understand you and continue finding favor in your sight. Moreover, keep on seeing this nation as your people. He answered, Set your mind at rest, my presence will go with you, after all. Moshe replied, If your presence doesn't go with us, don't make us go on from here. For how else is it to be known that I have found favor in your sight, I and your people, other than by your going with us? That is what distinguishes us, me and your people, from all the other peoples on earth. Adonai said to Moshe, I will also do what you have asked me to do, because you have found favor in my sight, and I know you by name. But Moshe said, I beg you to show me your glory. He replied, I will cause all my goodness to pass before you, and in your presence I will pronounce the name of Adonai. Moreover, I show favor to whomever I will, and I display mercy to whomever I will. But my face, he continued, you cannot see, because a human being cannot look at me and remain alive. Here, he said, is a place near me, stand on the rock. When my glory passes by, I will put you inside a crevice in the rock and cover you with my hand, until I have passed by. Then I will remove my hand, and you will see my back, but my face is not to be seen. 34:1 Adonai said to Moshe, Cut yourself 2 tablets of stone like the first ones. And I will inscribe on the tablets the words that were on the first tablets, which you broke. Be ready by morning. In the morning you are to ascend Mount Sinai and present yourself to me on the top of the mountain. No one is to come up with you, and no one is to be seen anywhere on the mountain. Don't even let the flocks or herds feed in front of this mountain. Moshe cut 2 stone tablets like the first. Then he got up early in the morning and, with the 2 stone tablets in his hands, ascended Mount Sinai, as Adonai had ordered him to do. Adonai descended in the cloud, stood with him there and pronounced the name of Adonai. Adonai passed before him and proclaimed Yad Hevavhe. Yad Hevavhe, Adonai, is God, merciful and compassionate, slow to anger, rich in grace and truth, showing grace to the 1000th generation, forgiving offenses, crimes and sins. Yet not exonerating the guilty, but causing the negative effects of the parents' offenses to be experienced by their children and grandchildren, and even by the 3rd and 4th generations. At once Moshe bowed his head to the ground, prostrated himself and said, If I have now found favor in your view, Adonai, then please let Adonai go with us. Even though they are a stiff-necked people, and pardon our offenses and our sin, and take us as your possession, he said, Here, I am making a covenant. In front of all your people I will do wonders such as have not been created anywhere on earth or in any nation. All the people around you will see the work of Adonai. What I am going to do through you will be awesome. Observe what I am ordering you to do today. Here, I am driving out ahead of you the Amori, Canaanite, Hittite, Perizi, Hivi and Yevusi. Be careful not to make a covenant with the people living in the land where you are going, so that they won't become a snare within your own borders. Rather, you are to demolish their altars, smash their standing stones and cut down their sacred poles, because you are not to bow down to any other god. Since Adonai, whose very name is jealous, is a jealous God, do not make a covenant with the people living in the land. It will cause you to go astray after their gods and sacrifice to their gods. Then they will invite you to join them in eating their sacrifices, and you will take their daughters as wives for your sons. Their daughters will prostitute themselves to their own gods and make your sons do the same. Do not cast metal gods for yourselves. Keep the festival of Matzah by eating Matzah, as I ordered you, for 7 days during the month of Aviv, for it was in the month of Aviv that you came out from Egypt. Everything that is first from the womb is mine. Have all your livestock. You are to set aside for me the males, the firstborn of cattle and flock, the firstborn of a donkey you must redeem with a lamb. If you won't redeem it, break its neck. All the firstborn of your sons you are to redeem, and no one is to appear before me empty-handed. 6 days you will work, but on the 7th day you are to rest. Even in plowing time and harvest season you are to rest. Observe the festival of Shavuos with the first gathered produce of the wheat harvest, and the festival of ingathering at the turn of the year. 3 times a year all your men are to appear before the Lord, Adonai, the God of Israel. For I am going to expel nations ahead of you and expand your territory, and no one will even covet your land when you go up to appear before Adonai your God 3 times a year. You are not to offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, and the sacrifice of the feast of Pesach is not to be left until morning. You are to bring the best first fruits of your land into the house of Adonai your God. Haftarah Yechezk'el, Ezekiel, 37:1-14. 37:1 With the hand of Adonai upon me, Adonai carried me out by his spirit and set me down in the middle of the valley, and it was full of bones. He had me pass by all around them. There were so many bones lying in the valley, and they were so dry. He asked me, Human being, can these bones live? I answered, Adonai Elohim. Only you know that. Then he said to me, Prophesy over these bones. Say to them, Dry bones, hear what Adonai has to say. To these bones Adonai Elohim says, I will make breath enter you, and you will live. I will attach ligaments to you, make flesh grow on you, cover you with skin and put breath in you. You will live, and you will know that I am Adonai. So I prophesied as ordered, and while I was prophesying, there was a noise, a rattling sound. It was the bones coming together, each bone in its proper place. As I watched, ligaments grew on them, flesh appeared and skin covered them, but there was no breath in them. Next he said to me, Prophesy to the breath, prophesy, human being, say to the breath that Adonai Elohim says, Come from the four winds, breath, and breathe on these slain, so that they can live. So I prophesied as ordered, and the breath came into them, and they were alive. They stood up on their feet, a huge army. Then he said to me, Human being, these bones are the whole house of Israel. And they are saying, Our bones have dried up, our hope is gone, and we are completely cut off. Therefore prophesy, say to them that Adonai Elohim says, My people, I will open your graves and make you get up out of your graves, and I will bring you into the land of Israel. Then you will know that I am Adonai when I have opened your graves and made you get up out of your graves, my people. I will put my spirit in you, and you will be alive. Then I will place you in your own land, and you will know that I, Adonai, have spoken, and that I have done it, says Adonai. Pirit Hadashah 1 Corinthians, 1 Co. 5-6-8, Yochanan, John, 11:38-57. 1 Corinthians, 5-6 Your boasting is not good. Don't you know the saying, it takes only a little HaMoed to leaven a whole batch of dough? Get rid of the old HaMoeds, so that you can be a new batch of dough, because in reality you are unleavened, for our Pesach lamb, the Messiah, has been sacrificed. So let us celebrate the Seder not with leftover HaMoeds, the HaMoeds of wickedness and evil, but with the matzah of purity and truth. John, 11:38 Yeshua, again deeply moved, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone was lying in front of the entrance. Yeshua said, Take the stone away. Martha, the sister of the dead man, said to Yeshua, By now his body must smell, for it has been 4 days since he died. Yeshua said to her, Didn't I tell you that if you keep trusting, you will see the glory of God? So they removed the stone. Yeshua looked upward and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I myself know that you always hear me, but I say this because I have the crowd standing around, so that they may believe that you have sent me. Having said this, he shouted, Elazar, come out. The man who had been dead came out, his hands and feet wrapped in strips of linen and his face covered with a cloth. Yeshua said to them, Unwrap him, and let him go. At this, many of the Judeans who had come to visit Miriam, and had seen what Yeshua had done, trusted in him, but some of them went off to the Pirushim and told them what he had done. So the head Kohanim and the Pirushim called a meeting of the Sanhedrin and said, What are we going to do? For this man is performing many miracles. If we let him keep going on this way, everyone will trust in him, and the Romans will come and destroy both the temple and the nation. But one of them, Caiaphas, who was Kohen Gadol that year, said to them, You people don't know anything. You don't see that it's better for you if one man dies on behalf of the people, so that the whole nation won't be destroyed. Now he didn't speak this way on his own initiative. Rather, since he was Kohen Gadol that year, he was prophesying that Yeshua was about to die on behalf of the nation, but not for the nation alone. but so that he might gather into one the scattered children of God. From that day on, they made plans to have him put to death. Therefore Yeshua no longer walked around openly among the Judeans but went away from there into the region near the desert, to a town called Ephraim, and stayed there with his Talmidim. The Judean festival of Pesach was near, and many people went up from the country to Jerusalem to perform the purification ceremony prior to Pesach. They were looking for Yeshua, and as they stood in the temple courts they said to each other, "What do you think? That he simply won't come to the festival." Moreover, the head Kohanim and the Pirushim had given orders that anyone knowing Yeshua's whereabouts should inform them, so that they could have him arrested.